Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you to this conference where we have come here to raise our voices, to make it loud and clear that women of the world are not going to tolerate anymore any kind of fundamentalism, especially religious fundamentalism, the Islamic fundamentalism. We are here to say loud and clear that women of the world stand for peace, and we stand with our sisters from Iran who are suffering at the hands of the Iranian regime. We stand with the sisters of the Camp Liberty who are being tortured, brutalized by the hands of the regime of Iran. So we are here. I raise today for a hearty welcome, warm enough to hold all my fellow sisters and brothers here who are present in this gathering. It is extremely gratifying to look around and see faces that reflect the power to fight for women's rights and share this energy of keeping the movement for democratic rights and justice for all. We are here to unite against extremism, fundamentalism, and look through the eyes of each other, to experience and understand that the women around the world have been going through all kinds of injustices. And it's time to say no to injustices. Any form of injustices, women are not going to tolerate it anymore. The Women's Network for Change, on behalf of which I'm standing before you and our chair, Rita Susmo, who's here with us, we formed together this network in 2015, and also this network, which was set up, has been setting agenda to fight with the extremist forces since its very establishment. And we refuse to bow down to clamping forces and stand tall together in support to Mrs. Razavi, because she is the one who stands tall before us, strong, fighting spirit to protect women of Iran from all kinds of cruelty, brutality, and injustices. At the time when global conversation indicate at peace and free speech being the climatic point of a better world, the situation in Iran seems to be contrary and eroding away the rights of women. The violent extremism, confused with religion and politics, has been degrading humanity and particularly the situation of women. The Islamic fundamentalism has been a two-edged sword for the women who have been facing the brunt of being against the state and raising their voices against the transgression. The heinous acid attacks done in 2014 in the name of correcting those with improper wheeling are nothing but blemishes, sign of frailty. I must mention that the perpetrators of this crime are still free and haven't been prosecuted for their doings. It's shameful that even in today's age and time, we have such cruel people, such brutal forces of patriarchy, which is at large, and there is no punishment for such people. The villainy tales from Camp Ashraf still persecute the victim. But despite global efforts, justice hasn't been granted to the women. Instead, they are forced to leave their own country and seek refuge in other parts of the world. Here I want to raise a question to all who are holding the pride of being fundamentalist and extremists, that which constitution, which sacred text allows you to degrade humanity, degrade women and stoop so low that you are raping them on the pretext of correcting their way of living, their way of life. I see this barbarianism against women of Iran and across the globe as an insult of all the efforts put together to claim women's rights. The struggle of Iranian women is a journey of 150 years to claim their basic rights. The post-constitutional revolution period reminisces women activists participating actively in public debates, forums, and engaging in the political processes. Their contribution to the independence and the liberty revolution, and since then in other national movements, have played a vital role in the intellectual growth of women and is foreseen as the most effective medium of voicing against dictatorship and clerical regime. All of us present here must applaud the commendable efforts of leaders like Mrs. Rajavi, who had led the resistance movement and has been at the forefront of the rights of Iranian women. It is her leadership that has guided the world of the Islamic principles affirming gender equality, justice, and equal representation to women. We are assured that her efforts to unite the world and together working towards a peaceful world will bring about definite changes in the situation of women. I hope that you all agree with me on the fact that the increased representation of women in political sphere is what that can lead to a proper and prosperous nation and nationhood, and is an essential for growth of any nation in its true sense. While it is stated that the political participation of women has doubled in the last 20 years, it has only converted to 22%. I'm sure the sisters who participated in Beijing conference are here sitting on the podium, and they know that it has only become 22%. The number clearly states that there is a long way to go. Witness women's equal participation in democratic process. The transition in democracy has to be an inclusive one, which allows women to be a part of the peace talks and put forth their opinion while policies are being framed for the benefit of women. If women are not in the policy tables, if they're not in the boardrooms, if they're not leading their parliaments, then I do not know for whom these policies are being made and who really gives consent to all these laws and policies which are imposed on women. Incidences of raping of the female political prisoners in Iran under Mullah regime, executing women on false charges, should be seen as a shame to humanity and the world. The burgeoning extremism and anti-women regime has to be taken off the roots to reclaim the lost dignity of women and assure them a safe space. The need is to support the women who has the courage to fight back this severe discrimination against women and are leading the anti-regime protest at the forefront. We need to set the blueprint of a social context which can help the upcoming leaders in shaping the movement and continue it. Women's rights have been sacrificed and wieled enough. It's time to break the radical notions of patriarchy and end the culture of treating women as mere subordinates. Let us together once again applaud the efforts of our sisters who have kept the flame burning against the regime. We stand with you in solidarity and pledge our support to you on this occasion. I see all of us as the leaders who will stand together and lead this movement of equality, justice, and freedom for all. And at the end, I just want to tell you and also want to convey the messages through you to all the sisters who are in Camp Liberty that don't think even for a moment that we are not with you. We are with you, we are supporting you, and we will see and fight till justice is delivered. Thank you.